Hello and welcome everyone. The day that you guys been waiting for is finally here. I finally decided to make a tutorial. I said that if this comment gets more than 30 likes, then I'll post my drum kit and make a tutorial. But yeah, as you guys can see, the comment got 220 likes, which I didn't expect, which I'm very grateful for. Really grateful for their support. So I guess I didn't have an option but to make this tutorial. For this tutorial, I'll be using the beat where the comment was posted. So the beat is called Insomnia, and it's a Travis Scott beat. And the thing that I like about this beat is the drums, because I really like how Travis Scott uses his drums, and he's kind of an inspiration for me. So I try to import some of his drums from his songs and use his style in my own beats. So the first thing I started with was the sample. I found this sample on Drum Brooker in a sample pack. Really crazy sample. Yeah, so the first thing I did was I got the stamps too. So I pitched the sample 100 cents up. Also, I added an ukulele, which sounds like this. Yeah, it's only in the middle of the song and at the end, so it's not really that much. So to start with, the first and the main thing that plays a huge role in how good your drums will sound is the instrument selection for the melodies that you're using or the melodies that you're making. For example, this sample has a broad spectrum of frequencies with different instruments that covers their own frequencies and stereo each. So for example, if we hear the bass is in mono, the piano is kind of stereo, and then we got the guitar, which is kind of in the middle of this. Then we got brushes, which is before the drop. It's really good to have some percussion. I mean, before the drum drop. And also we got an organ, which adds really nice texture to the sample. And also, the good thing about melodies is sometimes to make the instrument go from one side of the stereo to the other, like this. You won't even notice it, but it plays a big role and it sounds really cool. Also, we got a synth in here, which also kind of gets in its own space in the stereo. Another thing with this sample is that when you hear the sample, you think the only thing that is missing is the drums. And samples like that are golden. They are those you need to search for and those you need to make. When I make melodies or finding samples, I try to never use the same instrument in a frequency range. So instead, I arrange the beat in a way where other instruments with the same frequencies play at different parts. So for example, we got horns in here. And the horns are kind of playing at the same frequencies as the organ. You can hear that. I'm actually show you. Here you can see the frequencies of the horns, and here you can see the frequencies of the organ. Same frequencies. So that makes that makes the beat kind of dirtier if you use the same frequencies of instruments in the same place. So therefore, I try to space the instruments so that their frequencies don't get in the way of each other. Also, talking about arranging the beat, this is a very important key to getting hard drums. When you have a good build-up like this, you start off with less instruments, and then suddenly before the drums come in, you build up, and then take off almost all instruments and got like one instrument playing, and the other instruments are just drums. So for example, here I started off with just 3 instruments, and before the drum drop I put almost all the instruments that was possible to put in there, not mixing up frequencies, but finding the instruments that perfectly align with this build-up. So you can hear where the drums drop, I put only 1 instrument plus the bass, and the drums kind of hit harder because of that, because it's less instruments, and then because of that the drums sound harder. So one of the key parts to having hardening drums is using quality sounds. For this beat, I used my drum kit called Uncloud, which contains all the drums that I used in my popular beats like Skywalk, Undercover, Lost, and so on. As I promised you guys, I posted it on my website. If you want to go check that out, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. First of all, I started by adding this rim right here, which I turned the out knob up because it sounded like that. So turn it up to make it sound crispier and cleaner. And for this rim, I used this pattern, which is really bouncy because of the, make sure that you are using the velocity, because the velocity makes it harder and more bouncy. So that was the rim. After that, what I did, I added this hi-hat, which I also turned the out knob all the way up. But on this hi-hat, I added a bit of stereo delay to the right, so 4% to the right. And also, as you can see, I boosted a bit of the sound. So for this hi-hat, I used this pattern. I tweaked the velocity to make it sound more bouncy. Also, usually if I don't use the stereo delay, I'll just use the pan. So making the drum sounds stereo or panning them to different size also makes the drums pop even harder. So here is the pattern for the first hi-hat. So it's the same. Yeah, so it continues the same. After that, what I did, I took another hi-hat, which sounds like this because I turned up the out knob and turned the pitch down. On this one, I didn't do anything on stereo delay or boost anything. So this hi-hat is more like a high-end hi-hat. Well, this one is more of the low end. So the pattern on this hi-hat is like this. And why I did this, why I took two hi-hats, because they complement each other really good, and it makes the spectrum of frequencies really broad. Because when you take off the other instruments and you only use like one instrument in the beginning, and then put the drums on the frequencies that the other instruments are on, while they're not there, then it makes the sound of the drums crispier, and you listen to all the colors. So here you can hear both hi-hats together. So after that, what I did, I took and added some simple open hats. So for this one, turn the out knob a bit up, offset up, because it starts not from the beginning. Oh, what did I do now? Oh shit. So I'm back, guys. I just fixed this, and here's the pattern for the first open hat. And so on. After that, what I did, I added another open hat. This one is a bit low end. So here's the pattern for this one. Super simple, but yet it makes all the difference. Okay, so after that, what I did, I added an 808. So what for the 808, I didn't do anything on the effects. I don't put anything on the drums for the effects, just use the stock kind of sound tweaking effects. So for the pattern, this one, I did this. Really basic, nothing special, just simple 808 pattern. After that, what I did was, so you can see got two 808 patterns. Yeah, doesn't really matter that much. So after that, I just added a kick that complements the 808 and the 808 pattern. So here you can hear, I'm gonna just show you the effects first. So on the kick, just a simple mellow kick, and here's the pattern. So here was the pattern for the kick. Also, I wanted to mention that usually when I make the beats, I'll use two basses kind of. So first of all, I use the Contact Library Rickenbacker bass, and also I use an 808 because it sounds different. It kind of adds more variety to the beat. So here you can see a clear example of me using first the bass in the intro, and after that, at the drop, the 808 comes in. Another thing I need to mention is when you are making the drums, this is all the producers are talking about this, and yeah, you should know, you should cut the low end of your melodies. And this is because if you don't cut the low end, the drums are gonna sound bad, because the mix is gonna clash together. So the low frequencies from the melodies, and the low frequencies from the drums are going to clash, and that makes the drums not that crispy, and also it destroys the melody. So remember, cut your low end. So at the end, what I do, I usually put a ozone 9. The first thing I do is put the character all the way down to 0. Usually it's at 2. So I'm gonna show you the difference. For example, yes, so you can listen right here. This is at 2. And now listen at 0. It makes this sound of the drums crispier. So not a big difference, but you definitely can hear it if you listen closely. After that, what I do is I put the ceiling down to negative 0.2 dB. This makes the beat not cross over 0 dB. And after that, what I do is put the threshold down to about -5 dB to -10 dB. It depends on the beat and it depends on how it sounds better. So for this one, I'm gonna show you the difference. So for example, I put it on the default -2 dB, and now with -7.8. A lot of difference. So this is basically it. So the drums just get cleaner and crispier because of the ozone 9, but it also won't work if you are using bad quality sounds, bad melody, and don't use the tips that I gave you before in this video. So make sure, first of all, to use good samples with variety of frequencies. Cut out the unnecessary frequencies on the drop when the drums come in. So just try to minimize the instruments when the drums come in. That makes the drums pop a lot harder. Also, cut the low end and use good quality sounds. So this is it for today. Here you can now listen to the beat preview, which is gonna come right now. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like in the description. Oh, I mean, bro, what am I talking about? Leave a like down below and leave a comment down below if you want to see some more of this kind of videos. If it was helpful, just let me know, because yeah, I tried my best to learn new stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop talking right now, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.